I'm fired up for this year. Here's kind of a broad look at the World Series odds right now. First of all, who's your team? You're a Nats fan, right? We got
I'm a
to.
Nats fan, unfortunately, for this season. But we do have a ring, though. So I know you're a Phillies fan. Hey, you can have our sloppy seconds. Let's see if it works out for you guys down the
Yeah,
line. You got
got a
like our
lot.
entire old Nat squad now. So
Yeah, yeah,
I still have a soft spot in my heart for Bryce Harper, unfortunately. I chirp him all the time, but at the end of the day, I still really like him and wish he was in DC.
yeah.
And, you got Schwarbaum as well, and now you got my guy, Trey Turner. So, gosh, I'm waiting for you guys to change your logo and team name at this point, but you're really good, and we're not. So
Yeah.
we'll see how this year goes. But I think we're projected to have the worst win total of the season, lowest win total of the season at like 60. So that's not too hot.
No, that's extremely low. What do you? All right. So if you had to decide over under Nats 60.5, what do you think? Would you go under on that? Or
Honestly,
if you had,
honestly, I'd probably take the under.
yeah,
Although I have been hearing good things about Josiah Gray changing up his pitch mix a little bit. So his fastball, his four seam, is the third worst pitch in baseball last year. It got absolutely roped.
yeah.
So he's getting rid of that pitch and he's switching to a cutter, which I
Okay.
think is dope. So that's huge. Cade Cavalli came up and got hurt right away. So you never know what's good with him. He's supposed to be really cool. And then we also got the kid from the lefty from the Padres in that
No.
deal, the lefty Mackenzie Gore, who was like
Yeah.
one of the best pitchers in baseball for the first half of the season and then fell off. So a lot of ifs on this team, a lot of young talent now with CJ Abrams and co as well. So it could be weird. Who knows? I mean, if these guys all lock in and play like to their potential,
Yeah.
we could, surprise some people, but the odds are against us.
Could be a big year. All right. I'll give out one that I like. So it's a divisional bet. Blue Jays to win the AL East. I believe they're plus 250 right now. I love that. Yankees in the offseason, I think they did what they had to do. Obviously, their biggest thing was locking up Judge. But outside of that, pretty much the same team as last year. They did bring in Carlos Rodon, but he goes from pitching in a pitchers-friendly park in San Fran uh, to a hitter-friendly park in New York. So, I mean, his numbers, I would think, kind of do that. They're gonna struggle a little bit. I love what Toronto did, though, in the offseason. All of a sudden, Toronto's the best rotation in the division. I mean, they go deep now. You got Manoah, obviously, up there. They bought in Chris Bassett, which I thought was a really good pickup for them. Jose Barrios was horrible last year, but this is a guy at one point was an ace. I mean, we've seen what he's had the ability to do. Kevin Gausman's been really good, and he's still got 100 Ryu. So I think they go five legit guys. I mean, Barrios might end up being the number five in that rotation. Like, that's how deep Toronto has from a rotation standpoint. We know offensively they can swing it. That hasn't been the issue the last few years. You got Bichette, you got Vladdy in the lineup, and I like what they did defensively. So the subtraction was Teoscar Hernandez, who was a butcher in the field, DH'd a lot, but they bought in Dalton Varsho from Arizona. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league. Watched him a lot on Arizona last year. Great defensively, good contact guy. He has some pop in his swing
You can
also.
catch, you can catch and play center field, which you don't
Yeah,
get very often.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, the versatility there. I mean, he's a big time addition in my opinion. Then you bring in Kevin Kiermaier also from defense. So they have like three Gold Glove in my opinion in the outfit. You have Springer, you got Kiermaier, and then Varsho's a guy who I think will win a Gold Glove at some point. I mean, he's an outstanding defender. So yeah, I really like what they did in the offseason from a standpoint of just they got better where they needed to, pitching and defense. They could always hit. So I like Toronto there. I like Toronto at that value. So just letting you know, the guy who keeps commenting, DFS lover, we did DM you the week of VIP, so just make sure to check your DMs for winning the trivia. But just double check that. But yeah, any other futures out there, Krabs, that stand out to you?
Yeah, I'll make two comments. Number one, it's funny that after all the Mets did this offseason, they're still the third shortest odds to win
Yeah,
the World Series, not first. Got to respect the Astros and then all the lunatics out there who love betting on the Yankees every year. I guess that's why they're the second shortest. They shouldn't be.
always. Yeah,
But hey, if I had to pick a team on this board, I'm going with the team that goes under the radar every season, a team that has incredible results, a team that has a roster that a bunch of young guys who are locked in now for the long haul.
mm-hmm.
So, barring any injury, they should be getting better every single season with this group who I really believe in, and it's the Atlanta Braves. I hate to say it. And I'm sure you hate to hear it as a Phillies fan too, but I mean, what they're doing down there, man, is incredible. I don't know how they're getting them to drink the juice and take these deals.
Yeah.
These 3, 4, 5 year deals, that aren't that expensive on some of these young guys who could end up being stars. I don't know how they're getting them to buy in, but whatever they're doing, it's working. And that roster and that team is really good and built for the future for a long time of success. I love the Braves again this year. I do.
Yeah.
Hey,
I get that.
Hey, Krabs, 94.5. Do you like the over on the Braves?
Yeah, I do. Do you have the win totals for the Mets and the Phillies up there?
Stand by. The Mets are 94.5 as well.
Can I guess the Phillies? I'll guess the Phillies are 87.5. That's my guess.
The Phillies
91.5, my guess.
88.5.
It's one off.
Right in between. Or you almost hit it. Damn. Okay. So then, yeah, that goes to show you they still believe in the Braves there, and I guess the new Mets and your Phillies are taking a third seed even after going to the World Series. That's pretty wild.
I know. Well, here's the thing. Here's what I was going to touch on. Obviously, there's a ton of bias here, but the Phillies are like plus 375, I think, on DraftKings, or 350 to win the division. That's crazy. I mean, they just went to the World Series. So, in my opinion, there's this value there. You
added a couple guys. You added Trey Turner and stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't think you guys ever really had the best roster last year. I think you just got a bunch of guys who have really good chemistry, really like each other, and you guys got red hot going into the end of the year, kind of like the Nats did back in 2019, where they didn't have the best team, but they had a group of guys who really fucked with each other, good chemistry. And they thought they could beat anybody. And that's what you guys did. So that's why you're not, the favorite to win it again this year, because you don't have the best roster, but it's still a team to be scared of. It really is.
Yes. I agree with that. For sure. Definitely one to keep an eye on. I think this offensively, like you said, with Turner now, I mean, you got Schwartz, you got Turner, you got Harper, Romito, Castellanos set it off. Like they have 7 to 8 legit guys that could hit at the top lineups.
No, they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're not the Mets.
Yeah, but the Mets always met, Krebs. They always end up screwing themselves at some point in the season.
100%.
They don't scare
100%.
The Mets never scare me at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean the Braves are the team. Still. I think the Braves should be the favorites. I agree. They do get disrespected kind of.
You take them to win the division, the Braves right now? Non-biased.
Yes. If I had no bias, I'd say the Braves are the best team in the division. I do.
That's what I wanted to hear.
The thing with the Braves pitching too, I mean, they have the guys. The one guy, if you're a Phillies fan, keep an eye on, or even just like a baseball fan, Andrew Painter, one of the best young arms in baseball. I think they're going to give him some leeway this year. So getting him, the issue for the Phillies was kind of that 4 or 5 spot last year, because he can go 3 strong. I mean, Wheeler, Nola, and Suarez, they're going to be fine. It's the back end. They did bring in Walker from the Mets. Obviously, he was an all-star a couple seasons ago. He's a big upgrade from Kyle Gibson, you know what I mean, or one of those guys. So, keep an eye on that for sure. And, the Padres there, someone asked about them at 1,100. I don't know. You see the Machado comments? Like, when I see stuff like that, I worry, like, how locked in. Like, is he more worried about getting his bag this offseason, which I understand? Or, are they ready to win? They've had, obviously, the issues with Tatis. And, I mean, talent-wise, you can make an argument all day for the Padres, but I don't know. I think that's risky. I don't love them. I think the Dodgers are like minus 110 again to win that division, minus 120. Might just be another year. The Dodgers just doing what the Dodgers do.
So nuts, man. It's so nuts.
Yeah, it's insane. But there's a lot to get into. Excited. Only like a month away. We are almost there.
It's coming.
We're getting close.